Comments about the Trump University lawsuit after saying the judge overseeing that matter, who was born in Indiana of Mexican heritage, would not be able to rule without bias in the case.
If it were a Muslim judge, would you also feel like they wouldn't be able to treat you fairly because of that policy of yours?
It's possible, yes. Yeah, that would be possible, absolutely.
Isn't there sort of a tradition, though, in America that we don't judge people by who their parents were, where they came from?
I'm not talking about tradition. I'm talking about common sense, okay? He's somebody, he's proud of his heritage, and I think that's great that he's proud of his heritage.
But you're saying it's a barrier to him doing his job.
Oh, he's not giving me fair. He's not treating me fairly.
Well, so the case goes on. Marjorie Clifton, former Obama campaign consultant, principal at Clifton Consulting. Brad Blakeman, former member of George W. Bush's senior staff and Georgetown University professor of policy, politics, international affairs. Good day to both of you.
Thanks.
Marjorie, I know you don't like this. Brad, as a Republican, do you?
I do not. Look, I support Donald Trump, but it makes it harder and harder each day when he makes these factually baseless claims against a judge. You try a case in the court of law, not in the court of public opinion, and Donald Trump to attack a judge for his ethnicity when our country was founded, built, and maintained by immigrants is not acceptable.
He was arguing that the plaintiff wanted the case dismissed, and the judge allowed it to go forward. That seems to be the explanation he comes back to every time. Berta Gonzalez, former AG, wrote a piece this weekend and then appeared on Fox and Friends this morning. Just hear his take, Marjorie. Watch.
I don't know. Again, it's perfectly legitimate to ask the question. And I think the judge, as every judge should do before every case, to consider all the facts, to consider the publicity about the case, what's being said publicly about the case, and make a decision. Again, it's not just about being impartial. It's about the appearance of impartiality, impropriety. That's the standard that the judge must satisfy.
So when I listen to his legal rationale, is Trump trying to force the judge off the case? Is that the strategy?
Or he's going on the defensive, worried that he might lose or that he's looking bad. But the fact of the matter is Trump keeps leading on race. He keeps leading on religion. He keeps leading on things that weren't an issue. Most people didn't know that, this judge had any kind of dissent or that he was anything other than, an average American. And he is an average American. And I think that's the whole point, is painting any population of people or religion or gender by one brush is in its fact wrong. It is un-American because we Americans look like many different people. So he's making it about race, and then when he was asked, well, if they were Muslim, he made it about religion. So this is on him. He is the one leading with this.
All right, now, Brad, you're a lawyer, right?
Yes.
What's the legal strategy? Or is Trump just playing the win on everything?
I think Trump is being a really bad client. I can't imagine his lawyers are happy with his statements because they have to live by those statements and they have to report to the judge. Look, if Trump thinks this guy is not treating him fairly, there's a remedy. You petition. In this case, I imagine it would be the administrative judge in that district for a remedy, for recusal. But he's not doing that, and his lawyers don't seem to be doing that. So I think it's a really bad policy to fight your case, and it's unfair of the judge and the system to do it in the court of public opinion.
Let me get back to politics. Newt Gingrich, the former speaker, said this morning. Kind of what you said, Brad. Watch.
This is one of the worst mistakes Trump has made, and I think it's inexcusable. He has every right to criticize a judge, and he has every right to say certain decisions aren't right, and his attorneys can file to move the venue from the judge. But first of all, this judge was born in Indiana. He is an American, period.
On the politics of this, I thought the point Gingrich made later in that interview with Chris Wallace was especially pertinent. He said in the primary season, it's like playing golf. You're an individual. In the general election, you're playing a team sport. Right. And so what he was saying is that Trump has to let Speaker Ryan know what he's up to. And Senator McConnell, the same thing. And the Republican governors, to give them the comfort they have to stand on stage without a surprise. What do you think about that, Brad?
I think the speaker's absolutely right. We're now engaged in multiple races. We're engaged in a presidential race. We have to hold the Senate. We have to hold the House. We have local elections. And it's been said that a fish rots from the head. And that's true. If we don't have a leader at the top, it will hurt every down ballot. So we have to be united to win. We just can't count on our base. We have to reach out to others. And the only way we'll do that is if we're unified.
Yeah, from a Democratic perspective, Marjorie, what do you think as you watch this now?
Well, I mean, I agree 100%. I think that Trump is doing a disservice to the party. He is doing a disservice to the American brand, frankly, on the international stage. I mean, this is helping no one. And I agree that there is a team element in terms of who do we want to be as a country and what are we comfortable with in terms of how we talk about people and how we talk about issues. So
Marjorie, thanks. Brad, thanks to you as well.
Thank you, Bill.